Hey, this is Brandon Crawford from the San Francisco Giants, and you're listening to Torture Cast.
You're listening to a podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants with hosts Willie Dills, Chad King, and Ben Lee.
Let's go Giants! SF Giants! Let's go Giants! SF Giants! Dedicated to the greatest team in Major League Baseball history, the San Francisco Giants. This is Torture Cast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Torture Cast, the podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants. My name is Willie Dills, and this is episode 97. We are sitting at the precipice of either a fantastic end to a season, a historical end to a season, or the final cathud as the Giants fall completely out of favor and just into obscurity as far as the 2015 season is concerned. But we're going to talk about all of this right here on episode 97 of the Torchcast. I am joined, of course, by two of my favorite people in the entire world. Let's go ahead and start with Eric Nathanson. What's up, Eric? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Willie. How you doing?
Yeah, I've been better.
Yeah. Standing on the edge of the Giants losing. We're watching it right now. It's kind of interesting times in at the end of the season here. We've talked on the show about how the whole even odd thing means nothing, but somehow maybe means everything, I guess. I don't know. Odd year bullshit.
We are in the midst of odd year bullshit. Chad is also with us. Chad King, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. I'm just taking the season one podcast at a time. Never know what can happen.
That's the best way to take a season, just one podcast at a time.
It's been a while since we recorded, but the Giants are still mathematically in it. 3 more outs, and they will be alive another day.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just go ahead and just give like a sense of where we all feel right now. Mathematically in it, we've addressed that.
That's kind of like saying you're going to date, some supermodel because you're in the same room.
Well, okay, now I'll give you a better analogy. That's like going on a date with a girl, and she is... or a guy, and she is Michael Scott. She is incredibly unattractive, and you're like, she's mathematically in it. It's like, mathematically, I might still go for this at the end of the night. It depends, how many beers plus shots we add up into her agreeing to go home with me.
Right. Got a couple weeks left in the season.
If the equation is 7 beers plus 5 shots plus a couple glasses of wine plus she's actually kind of okay and has a good personality, we might actually end up sleeping together.
Yeah, you might have a few shutouts in a row. You might strike out a couple of times, and before you know it, you're there.
Why is Josh Osich batting?
Why not? At this point,
don't they have
cares?
Like 80 guys on the bench? Why is he in there?
Are we questioning a season where Bumgarner had more pinch hits than than the Travis Cat had when he was here?
That's beautiful. Osich
come on.
is batting, huh?
Well, yeah, I don't understand this. Why?
All I can assume is that he's the best lefty left, if the only lefty left, and they got lefties coming up in the 9th. So that's
probably
all I can say.
Just ask you guys when you ask why is Oshitz batting? Why is
what?
Why is 2015?
Yeah,
why is 2015?
Why is 2015?
I don't know.
Can we just skip right past it and move right on to our definite 100%
because it's
world championship in 2016? Can we just?
We're 3 months away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so excited for 2016 when we finally win our 4th world championship. Finally.
Well, it's guaranteed.
It's absolutely guaranteed. Like right now it's written in stone at this point. Like Buster Posey is showing us why he's an MVP candidate pretty much every year from here on out.
Until the Giants don't win an even numbered.
Yeah, and Bumgarner is still
World Series, it's guaranteed.
The cheapest ace in the entire history of baseball, I think, probably since the dawn of time.
Best deal in the world.
And we'll find. I'm pretty confident that we're going to bring in 2 good starting pitchers and supplement that with a couple of guys from some of our younger guys, like our Hestons, and
Maybe.
do okay next year, right?
There was, I think, Crick maybe somebody people have been Blackburn's another one people have been talking about.
There's guys, man. And of course,
there's so much to develop over the year.
Of course, Jared Parker is also going to hit 78 home runs.
Apparently.
So I think we're good to go for 2016. You guys.
Yeah, he was 1 for 9 coming into his second call up. And then suddenly he's like Babe Ruth reincarnated.
And he's hit
11 for 21.
7 home runs in his last 17 at bats or something ridiculous.
6 home runs, 12 driven in, 9 runs scored. He's 11 for 21. That's like 548 or something. I just had it open.
He'll be like that.
524.
His name. Yeah. Who was? Maybe you can refresh my memory, Eric. It was about maybe 10 years ago that Chicago Cub outfielder who hit 3 home runs on opening day.
Oh, that was about 20 years ago. It was Tuffy Rhodes.
Right.
Yeah, I believe he did
Rhodes.
So obviously he's in the Hall of Fame.
Gooden, maybe.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Rhodes.
No, I mean, that was clearly a sign that he was going to have a great year.
I mean, that's how baseball works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew this Parker kid would be good, though? He's got a decent swing. The 3rd home run he hit the other day, he attacked that first pitch. He was like, it's in my zone, I'm going for it.
He was so in the zone, it didn't matter what. I don't think it mattered what pitch was thrown. They could have tried to intentionally walk him, and I think it would have gone the other way.
I've never seen somebody make Oakland look small, and he did that weekend.
Well, you know what was really impressive about that?
I have seen someone make Oakland look small. It's called San Francisco. Get wrecked, Oakland. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, he hit an opposite field home run off an 84-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, with in like the blink of an eye, he was just like,
that is not easy to do. I mean, he's generating all the bat speed going in the opposite field. But
he's obviously studied the major league game, and he's grown his version of major league hair already. So I think he's just following Crawford and the others. He's got Brandon Crawford
and Pagan
Gardner's style hair, and he's ready. He's here. Yeah. He's here, and he's ready.
And he's got the Samardzija, mustache going on, whatever. It's all good.
The guy's got style, is what we're saying to everybody. Can you tell that maybe we're a little drunk and a little bit out of sorts, and we just don't give a crap anymore?
We just don't give a crap anymore,
coming
guys.
Across to the podcast audience.
But that's what you want. You guys want to be entertained. Yes. Are you entertained?
We're here at the magic number is 2 or 1.
Yeah, it's 2.
It's 2, but
2. One of their wins and one of our losses.
And it doesn't matter this 4-game series.
So essentially, the magic number is 1.
Exactly. It's 1 for the next 4 games. Mm-hmm.
But if the Giants get through this and sweep this series, they just have to
shut up.
Sweep. Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what happens.
It's just not going to happen.
Giants sweep this series. 2 things happen. First, Don Mattingly will get murdered on his way out of the ballpark by some Dodger fan.
Yeah, he'll just get shivved somewhere, right?
And Tommy Lasorda will then take over for the playoff game and probably then beat the Giants. And that'll be the craziest story you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah, Vin Scully and Tommy Lasorda will roll over in their graves, even though
How
they
about
don't
this?
have graves
Put
yet.
Vin Scully down there and let him manage. He would do a better job than Don Mattingly does. Like, is it possible for a manager to literally shit the bed as much as Don Mattingly does on a consistent basis? I don't think so.
We've said this before. If Bruce Bochy managed the Dodgers, he would easily add 5 to 10 games to their win record. No doubt, in my mind, anyway.
Bruce Bochy's left cleat could manage better than Don Mattingly.
His hat, because it's so gargantuan.
It's a size 24, and it is impressive, and it would manage better than Don Mattingly. Don Mattingly is like the worst. He takes a team with an insane amount of money behind it and finds ways to just lose in spectacular fashion. The 2 best pitchers in the West, and he can't clinch it with an 8-game lead and 3 weeks to go. How?
Dodgers fans are panicking. It's hilarious. I've seen some Dodgers fans across my timeline oh no, what if they blow this? They're totally imploding on themselves.
But there's no way that the Dodgers shouldn't have come in to San Francisco with this small of a lead, considering where we were 2 weeks ago.
No, but their magic
Come on,
number.
Chad. There's no way they should have been.
No, they should have clinched already.
This should have been over by now.
Oh, I totally agree.
And how is it not over by now?
I totally agree. They got swept by the Rockies. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what killed them right
They
now.
found a way to make this final series interesting.
Yeah, but look, if
that's impressive,
the
man.
shoes were reversed and the Giants are going to LA for a 4-game series and they had 7 games left in the season and they had a magic number of 2. All they need is either one win against LA or a win in their last series or 2 wins in the last series and a loss by LA. Even if they win just one more game and the Giants were to sweep them the rest of the way, it would still be tied. They would still have a playoff game. Okay? The Giants can only win the West without a playoff game. Literally, if the Dodgers lose 7 in a row, well, it would be 10 in a row, actually, because they lost 3 in a row against Colorado. But the next 7 in a row, and the Giants win all 7 in a row. That's the only way the Giants can win it outright. Otherwise, it'll be just a 1-game differential. That last series, they have to sweep the Dodgers, clearly. That's mathematically a guarantee. That has to happen to have a chance. But then they have a 3-game series left, right? Even if the Dodgers were swept, the Giants would still have to win 2 out of 3, you know? And that's not going to happen, guys. You know? It could.
Really?
It could.
Really?
Okay, wait.
We'll
get to it. We'll get to it at the end of the episode. What we're going to do if that happens. We'll do that later.
I'm just going to say this, okay, before we move on.
It would be the most epic collapse.
Oh.
Yeah. Because
in Major League Baseball history, in 125 years, there have been teams that have lost 3-game leads with 4 games to go. There have been teams that have lost 10-game leads with 30 games to go. There's never been a team that's lost a 6-game lead with 7 games to go. That hasn't happened ever.
No, and this would be the biggest one ever. But the Giants fans will never forget 2010.
That's true.
We won't forget that. Because in 2010, the Padres had a massive lead. You guys know what it was. It was what, like 6 games with like...
It was 6 or 7 games at the beginning of September.
Yeah. And the Padres had like gone on in like a sick tear on the way. Like the Giants were hot and the Padres are hotter, right? And it was just like nothing we could do to ever catch up to the Padres. It was crazy. It was just like... we're never gonna gain a game because we win, they win. We win, they win. We win, they win. Both teams were incredibly hot. And I mean, that was crazy. We could talk about 93 for the Giants, where the Giants were
no.
Oh my God.
No.
The Giants were how many games above the Braves, and then we ended up in the playoff game.
9 games ahead of the Braves at the All-Star break.
And we finished with 103 wins. 103 wins.
Didn't even make the playoffs.
We couldn't get into the playoffs. So, I mean, we can talk about that. The Dodgers also have done it in the past, but I'm... Okay, 2010 Padres have to be, like, okay, here we go. 2010 Padres, 6.5 game lead in the National League West.
Got it faster.
And that's on August 25th. So that is a month in the season to go. That feels bad, man. Yeah. Right? And the Giants not only caught up to them, tied them. And by the way, we had a chance to by the time it got to that final series.
Yeah, no, the Giants.
All the Giants had to do was win 1 game.
Yep.
And we couldn't win the first 2.
You're absolutely right.
And we finally won the third one.
Yep.
Like, we actually not only got them, we passed them to the point where we were in the catbird seat going into that final series.
Yeah,
right?
They were 3 games ahead going into that final series.
And couldn't win the first 2 and won the last one and then went on to win the World Series. So, this shit can happen, is all I'm saying.
Well,
now,
of course it can.
That being said, we're post-mortem here right now in TortureCast. That's how we're treating this. We're going to talk about this like it's impossible. And...
because the Phoenix will rise.
Yeah. Well, but it feels better to be like, it ain't happening. And then it does. It feels better.
There's being down by 1 or 2 runs in the 9th. This is not that. This is like...
No, this is down like 10.
But is this comparable comparable to being down 0-2 in a series against the Reds in the playoffs?
No,
I would
there's
say
too
no.
much that.
Is this the same as being down 3-1 against the Cardinals in the playoffs?
No, because that was incredible.
You have to win out, right?
Yeah, but you only have to win 3 in a row or 2 in a row.
So we have to win what?
3 in a row twice. You're right. And
so we have
basically
to win
7.
Hold on, Chad. We have to win what? 5 in a row?
No, they have to win minimum 6 out of the last 7 games if the Dodgers were to lose all 7 games.
So the Dodgers have to lose all the games. The Dodgers have to lose all 4 games.
Yeah,
And
or
then
if they lost one, the Giants
the
would have
Dodgers
to win
can
all
win
7.
one game in the next series, right?
Yes, yeah, you
And
have
we
to
have
sweep the
to win
Dodgers.
out.
Yeah,
Okay,
you have to
okay.
sweep the Dodgers.
So the Giants went how many in a row in the playoffs?
They
And
won 9 series in a row, and I believe 9 or 10 elimination games in a row.
we were down 3-1 against the Cardinals, right?
Right. No, I think
They won
We
7
won 3 straight,
games.
and then won 4 straight.
No, I'm just talking
against
about elimination
Tigers.
games
Right.
because
So that's seven games in a row.
I
So
think
yeah, the elimination game streak is different, but
well, no,
also,
it's not different
also
because
relevant.
that's where they
Also
are
relevant.
right now.
Yes,
against the Dodgers anyway. They're in an elimination game tonight, and tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, the next 3 days,
Okay.
4 days. They're elimination games. So even though this isn't playoffs, they've won 9 or 10 elimination games in a row. So there is that,
So what team
Comparable.
can do this?
what team can't do it? All of them.
No, what team can do this?
None of them.
None of them.
The Giants.
Because you can't rely on the Dodgers to lose.
The
You just
Giants
can't.
can do this.
Well,
There's one team that can do this. Is the
I know.
Giants,
See,
right?
just what Eric said right there. Even if the Giants sweep the Dodgers, and that would be,
I know.
Oh my
I know.
God, that would be fantastic. But they would be 2 games behind going into the 3-game series. So the Dodgers minimum have to lose 2 out of 3. The Giants would have to sweep, and then they would be a playoff game. But of course,
Now
if they got
here's
swept,
why I don't think the Giants can do this, and this
Well,
is
no.
why I'm
It's
saying
out of their
this
hands.
Post-mortem, right? So first of all, yes, obviously the Dodgers have the ability to win one game after this, which is very doable. But the other reason why I don't think the Giants are the team that can do this is because our lineup currently consists of
the Sacramento
Angel
River
Pagan,
Cats. Yes.
Parker, Duffy in the third spot, which is fine. Posey, Crawford, Bird, Tomlinson, Brown, and then our rotation is Bumgarner and some other guys.
I know, but ironically tonight, Brown was the guy who's giving them the lead.
I know.
Yeah,
two for
and Peavy pitched well.
And I
Two-out
get
double.
that. I get that. But this isn't the Giants team
No.
that came back against
Oh.
the Reds
It'd be
and
hilarious,
the
though.
Cardinals you know what I mean? Like this
They
is,
could come back and then they'd fall flat on their face in the playoffs because this is just not a very good ball club right
No.
now.
there's
course not.
no way this team could sure, maybe we could bunt guys into errors and magically win games
Like
and
we
that
did
would
in
be
2014.
insane.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what I'm saying
Run-
is
Runs,
even
hit-
that
yeah.
team still had Hunter Pence in right field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God, I miss him.
Without Hunter
I
Pence,
know. Oh my God. Miss him so
without our Joe Panic second base guy that was amazing,
Miss him.
without all of these guys, without Panda, obviously, and as much as Panda is a piece of shit this year, the years we won, he wasn't. Especially 2014, he was not the piece of shit Panda that he is this year. What I'm saying is, we're not that team right now. We just aren't. We're Buster Posey, Madison Bumgarner, and some guys who are cool stories, and then some other guys who are cool.
Well,
You're
the Jared
playing right field.
Jared Parker's been fun. Mac Williamson was
Mac
fun.
Williams-
He drilled a few balls.
Marlon
Hey.
Bird's been fun. Let's
Yeah.
talk about all the fun guys.
No, I want to talk about what
Yeah.
Josh Osich did so far.
What, by giving up the 2 runners here?
Yeah, so he gave up back-to-back singles, Willie, going off in the top of the 9th. So first and second, nobody out. They have now replaced him with Casilla. So
Well, okay. Throw the notes out.
Sack
Did we
bunt.
talk about Santiago
Yeah, I haven't even looked
and
at
the
him.
friggin' hate that this guy gets?
he's
Talked about this on the show in the
it's
past.
not deserved.
Yes, he's had an up and down season, but every reliever in the history of baseball has had an up and down season. Like, at some point, the guy's been rocks for years, and then he's like thrust into a closer role that he's probably not really supposed to be in, right?
Sure.
I want the Giants to be the first team that goes, you know what? We don't have a closer. We have, 8 guys in our bullpen, and we just use them how we like. That's what I want, man. When is the team going to do that?
Yeah, he couldn't do that.
But you don't think so?
No.
You don't think that could be a successful strategy in the major leagues?
Loyalty seems to be a big thing with these baseball players.
But what if the manager says, and Bruce Bochy is the guy who I think could get a bullpen behind this, and says, listen, I don't think any of you guys are better than anybody else. I think all you guys are super valuable to our team. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you into the best position to do well I can every single time. And I'm never going to put you out there and force you to finish a game when your arm is fucking tired and hurt and you don't feel like you're going to have like a good outing and the guy's a lefty against you and you're a righty, bad history. I'm just going to put you in the best position every single time.
Well, yeah.
You don't think that a bullpen guy can get behind that?
So I just want to update you. There was a ground out that did score a run, tying run in the 9th inning.
Yeah.
So it's 2-2.
2-2.
So now, and they got another out, so they're going to the bottom of the 9th, tied 2-2, because of course
Chad,
the Giants can't close it out.
I want an answer though.
Wow, great positioning.
Yeah.
You don't think that bullpen pitchers would get behind a manager who comes to them with a legitimate like plea, like I don't want to pick a closer, I just want you guys to pitch in good situations?
Well, I think guys like aspire to be a closer, so I think they feel like when they're working in the middle, they're trying to work their way up, and the closer guy is like the king of the mountain. So I think that there's too much ego involved in the world of sports. You gotta have that king of the mountain.
Yeah. But what if he comes to you and says, "There ain't no king of the mountain. You guys are all the king of the mountain."
Well, I think he tried that when Castillo
the moment
won the
you're
job.
on the mound, you're the king of the mound.
I know. I get that. And the Giants have done that a little bit in the past.
We have done it in the past.
Casilla and Romo. I get it.
Casilla and Romo shared it. Yeah.
They did, and they shared it. And it actually was not that bad, but
I really think that's the future of baseball, and everyone's just refusing to acknowledge it.
I think it could be the future of baseball. When I played baseball, it wasn't the major leagues because no one was getting paid contracts, right? Everybody really literally cared about the win.
I know it throws off the contracts, like the negotiations, like I'm a closer, I deserve
that's the whole point.
$12 million a year, right?
That's what's bullshit about it. If
I know,
contracts weren't there, and it was just solely based on talent. Exactly. Well, yeah,
think about the Warriors this year, right?
Yeah.
The Warriors this year had some guys come in who were all-stars on other teams, and they said, I will take a Andre Iguodala, will you come off the bench?
Yep.
And you will be the guy off the bench. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? Now you're the finals MVP. That's how it ended up. That story's ending. And I think that there is...
It's like Travis Ishikawa hitting a three... wait, never mind.
No, it's not like that.
No,
but,
I know.
But it is like saying, hey, this is how we're going to use you guys. We're not going to, massage egos. We're just going to put the guy in who has the best... Like... Bogut didn't even play in the finals barely, right? And we traded away our best player to get him. That's the Warriors. He didn't even play, but he sat on the bench and he supported his teammates. He's making a ton of money. David Lee was the highest paid player on the Warriors. I talked to David Lee before the finals, and I was like, dude, I just hope you get a chance to play. And he was like, you know what? I don't even care. I just want us to win. I think that we're not giving these players enough credit. I think that the agents are the ones who make us feel like the players are kind of pieces of shit.
Well,
I really believe that.
You talk about closer, and it's funny because I got to bring up Papelbon because he's a closer. You talk about closers. The way Matt Williams used closers, he only said that, Papelbon would pitch in closing situations, and he had a standard, he's our closer. He's our closer for why they went to him in certain situations. I don't know if it's – I think it's
– But that's been
ego
invented by baseball, right? Like –
Well, yeah. I mean, it's weird.
There
Like, even
wasn't a
baseball-
closer until the late 80s, really. I mean,
I remember like when Bruce Sutter came about, and
But he
like,
would
Goose
pitch 3
Gossage
innings.
back in the day. Yeah,
they would pitch 3 innings and be the closer. That's how they closed.
Yeah,
They were just the best pitcher on the team.
and then like
And
Dennis
it became-
Eckersley.
Dennis Eckersley was the first guy who was like a 1-inning specialist.
Yeah, I think he's
Came
the one
in
that
and
changed
pitched
it.
1 inning. And that's where, because the saves thing came about with Goose Gossage, who would come in and he pitched 3 innings. And he would be like essentially like a second starter. Like our starter got us 6 innings and we have the lead, and then Goose Gossage comes in and pitches 3 innings and finishes it off. So it wasn't until Eckersley, and then even after that, where we had these like guys who just pitched 1 inning and then threw really hard and all that. And then of course you got like what's his fuck from the Padres?
Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman, who like really made it a specialized position, right?
Oh, this is all Tony La Russa's fault. That guy started using
Right?
his bullpen like
Yeah.
this. He totally f***ed it up for everybody.
Well, what I'm saying is Tony La Russa can change the game in that way. Bruce Bochy can change the game the other way. I really believe that. I really do believe that. Like, if you wanted to, you could say, look, closers are bullshit. We don't need closers. We just need to put a guy who's got the best record against that guy.
Yeah.
And get that out, and get the next out, and get the next out. That's all we got to do.
No, I agree. It's just changing the culture of baseball.
Yeah. That's a
huge
hard thing to do.
barrier.
But
Yeah.
it's been done. That's what I'm saying.
It has.
It's
in
been
a
done.
few
We did it
instances.
when Eckersley changed that. Like that, it's been done.
Yeah.
It has been done.
All right.
Maybe we could see like Lincecum come back and be part of that. Because
Well, I wanna-
Lincecum can't come back as a starter. That's for damn sure. But he could
Heck
come back
no.
as a 2 out, 3 out guy in the middle of a game.
Since we are kind of talking a semi-post-mortem, especially when the Dodgers tied
Oh
up
yeah,
the,
we're just talking shit at this point. Like
Yeah,
that's why I'm spending so much time on this, you guys. Like
No, it's freaking Dodgers.
because I don't care.
Dodgers are trolling us while we're recording. They're 2 outs away from winning, and they got to go ahead and tie that shit up. But
Oh yes, okay.
no, one thing I wanted to say is that, of course, 2 nails in the coffin, I think, this year. We've talked about this before, with the 3-game sweep in L.A. and the 4-game sweep in Chicago. Those just absolutely killed the Giants. I mean, even if they had split or won 2 out of 3 or whatever, they would have still been in the race. But I wanted to look a little bit deeper in that. I know the Giants had not been doing too well in one-run games, and in fact, it was Bags who tweeted out that they're 2-15 after their win, by the way, in Oakland. So they were 1-15. They're 2-15 in one-run games in their last 17. And what the hell, 2-15? So they were 1-15 before yesterday. Overall, though, I looked at the entire Major League Baseball record. They are actually 17-27 in one-run games, and that's the 3rd worst in the National League, 5th worst in the major leagues. And it's a little disconcerting because they're an above 500 team, and you think, okay, let's look at the last 17 games where they're 2-15. Even if they were 1 game under 500, basically kind of playing towards the mean, 8-9, that would be a 6-game difference from where they are now, meaning they would be
Voila, they'd be tied
with the Dodgers right now.
Okay, so let's talk about what a winning and losing record in one-run games actually means.
Well,
Most of it would be
were they in
luck.
2014.
That's exactly where I'm going, Chad.
Yep.
This is BABIP to me. Like, this is...
Well, and I'll tell you why, because there are some oddities, and I put them in the notes here. Toronto, one of the best records in the major leagues. Guess what their record is in one-run games? 15-27. It's actually worse than the Giants.
Yeah, so they destroy you, or...
But they've scored in double digits like a million
Yeah.
times.
And then you got
But I think over an entire season, the stuff like this, we can look at this and we go, oh, the one-run games. But the stuff like this, like, ultimately to me means, like, we got kind of unlucky this season. And people did say that the Giants got lucky the years they won. And we have defended the Giants as saying, yes, but they made their own luck. But we do agree that our BABIP was fantastic. And we won a little bit on luck. And I'm going to go back to the Warriors here. The Warriors didn't have any injuries for an entire season, basically.
Perfect example. Yeah.
And the Giants in 2010 and 2012, 2014 had very few injuries, and that's luck. A little bit of his luck, a little bit of his guys in your, underneath the guys in the background who you don't really see doing their jobs, but it's also luck.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to play out all of these things and control all of them. And at a certain point, things go your way and things don't. And over 162 games, they tended to not go our way this year. So
what's Oh, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, it's really kind of amazing to think, though, that they've won 81. They're going for their 82nd win tonight. They're going to end up with a winning record. They're going to end up the second-place team in their division. And with all of that bad luck that
we've had the worst luck ever with injuries.
Yeah, they're a very competitive team still in the meantime. Them being a so-so team and knowing just, maybe if that luck had turned a little bit, it's crazy to think how good they can be when all those parts are there.
I imagine this Giants team when Hunter Pence plays 162 games like he did. And, 5 years in a row or whatever it was. Imagine this team. Imagine this team if Tim Lincecum actually is Tim Lincecum. Like we've been dealing with subpar performances from guys that we're giving a lot of leeway to for a long time now. And this year it just all kind of hit at the same time. A guy like Joe Panic going down for the amount of time he did is just, to me, insane. In the past, we've had guys like Brandon Belt go down, which, granted, Brandon Belt going down is crappy, but Brandon Belt going down is not Buster Posey going down, not Joe Panic going down.
Posey and Duffy, the only ones that didn't go down at all this year?
Yes,
I'm looking around the diamond.
So.
I think that's
like
true.
Even guys like Romo actually had to miss a little bit of time. I can't think of who didn't miss time. We had Crawford miss time.
Yeah, he got banged up after the LA series.
Yeah, well, obviously Pagan as well. If all these guys
Aoki,
are
everybody,
and it really it is kind of a luck deal. It's. You land a little wrong as you're diving for a ball and stuff like that. But this stuff can really stick with you too. I'm worried about Joe Panic going forward because something like a back injury for a second baseman, when you have to dive for a ball, you rattle your body. Your body gets rattled.
He's so young,
and it just makes me think of other second basemen we've had.
All right, game update. Giants have second and third with 2 outs. And
Kelby.
Tomlinson up to bat, so he just needs a little poke or an error or something like that. So we were touching upon bad luck. And I'm not what you would call a professional sabermetrician, but I do like sabermetrics. And one of the biggest ones is expected win percentage based on runs scored versus runs against. And it's this algorithm. It's actually a very simple equation, but you have 125 years of baseball to test this against, right? You can go back and actually say, okay, halfway through the season, 3/4 of the way through the season, can we predict the final win percentage, wins and losses of every team in baseball? So what they've run their simulations a billion times, and then what they've come up with is basically runs scored to the exponent, the exponential of 1.81, divided by runs scored to that same exponential plus runs against to that same exponential, 1.81. I know that sounds crazy, but apparently it's 95% accurate in the 125 years of baseball, because you can go back and you can test it. You can do it all you want. So I went through and I tested this against the current stats. Of course, we're only 7 games from the end of the season, so we're basically a full season of runs scored versus runs against. And what's really interesting is the Giants actually have scored 37 more runs than the Dodgers this year.
Well, the Giants have had a fantastic offense.
Yeah,
all
no,
season.
Yeah.
great.
Even
offense.
when the guys all left. But the fact is, we would have had a more outstanding. Like the Giants would have been like historically good on offense.
Could you imagine even if Jake Peavy pitched like he's pitching now throughout the season, that you pick up 2-3 wins there?
Yeah,
probably
from when he was
Maybe
bombing
even
at the
more.
beginning of the season.
No, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, like, forget pitching. Like, let's talk just offense. I think the Giants would have been historically good if you keep Hunter Pence and you keep Joe Panic and you keep all these guys throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
Like, I really think the Giants would
Well,
have
and
been.
I think that's what this
and Pagan.
This calculation kind of resorts to, because all the injuries kind of happen near the end of the year. So it's like catching up with them right now in terms of win-loss percentage.
Pence has been in and out, like, for all of it, like, and missed huge chunks as well. So
Yeah, because the Giants have only allowed 15 more runs, or sorry, 17 more runs than the Dodgers, which exceeds or is lower than their runs scored for.
Yeah.
So basically, long story short, the Giants' expected win total is 90 based on those runs and runs against. The Dodgers' expected win total is 88.
wow. So according to like how it should have, So again, this is the luck factor.
Yeah, and they said that 95% of these teams in the history of Major League Baseball will be within 3 wins of their expected total, meaning that the Giants would be between 87 and 93. The Dodgers would be between 85 and 91.
Wow.
And the Giants are not going to get to 90. In fact, they may not even get to...
No.
They're probably not
And
going to
if they
get
get
to
to the
87,
playoffs, it's going to be
right?
kind of like amazing that it even happens.
Yeah, so what that tells you is that there's only been, in the last 15 years, they said there's only been one team that's been outside of that norm, and it was 2 years for the Diamondbacks in 2007, 2005. So if the Giants continue this trend, unless they win out the season, they're going to be the third team in the last 15 years that basically are outside of this 4-game buffer of this expectation. And that just shows you the bad luck they've had with injuries.
That's crazy.
I told you the Dodgers were vulnerable. That's part of the reason I picked the Giants to win the division this year. It's kind of stunning to hear with the math that they absolutely were vulnerable. They're only going to win like 88, 90 games. The Giants absolutely had a shot at them this year.
Well,
they may not be this weak next year, you know?
But I really do believe that, yes, the Dodgers were vulnerable, but there's no way that any team that had the amount of injuries the Giants had should ever win the division. And
Oh, hell no.
and if they do, this is like the first time this has happened. Like, it's the Giants have been just
since the Cardinals
riddled, man.
won
just
83,
riddled, dude.
83 games, I think, in 2011.
I can't think of a team that has had as many injuries as the Giants have had and done anything at all. Like, we should be bottom of the barrel. The fact is, the West is terrible. We know this. Like,
Yeah.
But for us to have a chance at this point, I was just talking about second baseman, like the bad leg like Joe Panic is. Please don't enter the realm of Freddie Sanchez, Marco Scudero, like. But this is what it is like. It's like, here we go again, you know. And the Giants are.
He's
It's
young,
a historically good amount of offense that we could have had, and a historically bad amount of injuries that we did have. And then of course the pitching, you know, we had like Matt Cain, Tim Lincecum, and a bunch of guys who, like, how many pitchers have we had? Starting pitchers have we had this season? Does anybody have that number?
That's a
That
great
shit
question.
is insane too.
It's actually lower than
LA.
LA.
Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah.
17.
Okay. Well, LA's had a sick amount, but they did that like really early on. That was all like right at the beginning of the season for them. As the season has gone on, they've like kind of stabilized in that regard. So anyway, this is, you know, this has been a weird season, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
we are gonna do a show whether the Giants get in or not. If the Giants get in, our show's gonna be holy shit, the Giants got in. And if they don't get in, our show's gonna be okay. Let's fucking talk about how stupid this dumb season was. And
Oh my God! If they get in, that'll be the craziest show ever. We're all just
I know,
kinda
right?
Sitting there dumbfounded.
this is gonna be me
Oh my God, can you
pouring
believe that
champagne into my asshole and
Whoa.
talking about how crazy or my mouth, whatever.
And they don't have to play a wild card game. Hell yeah!
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
But yeah, no, I mean it's just been one of those seasons, man. So you know what, guys? Let's just move on.
Yeah,
Let's just move on.
Yeah, Casilla just moved on, walked the leadoff batter in the 10th.
Sure, moved
good.
on to the second batter.
You know,
Why not?
Why not?
All right, dude, we don't need to talk about Marlon Byrd or any of that
No.
shit. Let's just talk about
No.
favorite guys. Favorite guys. All right, look. Imagine this is your last favorite guy.
Oh God.
Who is it?
Hey now.
You guys gonna
that-
change?
Yeah, absolutely. That would change.
No,
the
I'm not
stakes.
changing it because I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend like I
Chad,
didn't,
you got the favorite guy everybody
I'm
wants.
gonna pretend
so
I didn't know that the
congratulations.
zombie apocalypse was gonna happen. So I'm going with Jarrett Parker because holy crap, dude. We talked about him earlier. 1 for 9 coming up, sent back down, came back up, hit a couple of bombs, and then a third bomb, and then he hit 3 bombs in one day. So that's home runs in 3 consecutive games. Well, not tonight.
Yeah, by
of
the
course.
way, if you
God,
just
that was
type
awesome.
in Jarrett right now, you get Jarrett Parker as
Yeah.
the top thing because he
Yeah.
is it's that crazy. It's that crazy.
I mean,
what do
you know, to see the first one, it's like, okay. And the second one was like, holy crap. Third one, the game was tied 10-10 with the bases loaded.
Let's talk about that game real quick.
Oh
because
wow.
that game was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So that game was billed as Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys both lasted 1 1/3 and
And 2+.
And two. Yeah.
so they were gone very quickly.
Well,
And
Tim
then it
Hudson was
turned
really
into-
sad because he gave up 3 runs without giving up a hit.
Oh my God, he couldn't find the strike zone.
Yeah.
It was like Little League. You're watching it happen,
It was
and
weird.
It
It was
just keeps happening.
weird.
It was
game.
walk,
Horrible.
walk, error, hit by pitch,
Yeah.
walk, hit by pitch, walk. I mean, it was
Oh.
just... He
The
had
fielders fell asleep.
It was a
26
super weird game, and this is
26
what happens
pitches,
in Oakland.
5 strikes. That's bad.
Oh my.
I don't know if you guys
That's
go to
bad.
Oakland very often, but shit gets weird when you go to Oakland. I mean, I'm just
I
telling
don't
you.
like that stadium. That stadium.
Sometimes I go to
No, it's
Oakland
not-
and
it's
I'm
not a good
like,
stadium.
yo, I got to be home by 10. And the next thing I know, I'm diving into bushes on friggin' Gilman Street. And that's what happens when I go to, it's just a weird town and weird things happen. And I don't like going to Oakland. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And weird shit happened that day. 10-10. This guy comes
Yeah,
up
10
and
to
he's
10.
got
Freaking football
2 home
score.
runs already. This guy comes up. He's hit 2 home runs already. Do we say that already? We preface this where he's already hit 2 home runs. What does he get thrown? Like a fucking hanger. And
It's a
he just
cheese ball.
destroys it on the first pitch and hits a grand slam, and it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. All those guys come out of that old crappy dugout and just rub his hair, and it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Franchise record 9th grand slam on the season.
Yes, it.
Oh wow!
They already had
So on a
set-
shitty season,
they
we
already
had
set the record with
moments
8.
like this.
Yeah, they tied it with 8 when Kelby hit his.
Yep.
That is super cool, by the way. To have a shitty season like this, you got to have moments like that. Okay, at least I can look back and remember this. you know?
And also, by the
Yeah.
way, there's been a lot of pub today saying that if the Yankees win one more game, they'll win 10,000 games as a club.
We've
Yeah,
already
right.
done that, so fuck that.
Yeah.
Mind you,
Right.
the Giants are number 1 all time in wins with over 10,529 wins.
Yeah, so suck it,
So
Yankees.
suck it, Yankees.
So, okay, while we're doing this, Jarrett Parker on the next year's team.
Yeah, why not?
Who knows?
Well, how do you feel about
Well,
this?
what about? Did you guys? I mean, have you guys seen Mac Williamson hit too? He's hit the ball hard a few times.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah,
you
no,
guys
these
think?
guys all look great. I mean, this makes me feel much better about my life when I see these guys doing really good. But where do they belong? Because obviously Hunter Pence is your right fielder, and you want him to be healthy all season. Angel Pagan is a huge question mark. Nori Aoki is a guy I really like, and if he can be healthy, wouldn't mind seeing as well.
Yeah, but Parker.
But like, let's
bring
infuse some
dingers,
youth,
man.
right? Like,
Yeah.
come on, man, let's go.
Guys who hit home run. Parker can hit balls in the Cove. I think he'd be fun to watch.
He's
Okay,
strong
so-
as shit.
So
Yeah.
let me
Let's
ask you
put him out there, man.
Let me ask you
Let's
this.
see what he can do.
You know, most of the Twitterverse is like, get all the outfielders possible. Sign Cespedes, sign this guy, blah, 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 blah. But to be honest, Mike Leake has actually disappointed me so far.
Oh, me too. Oh,
I thought
No,
he
but
was.
not okay. But he also got hurt right away.
No, he hasn't been a train
And
wreck.
he's been a
train
good
wreck.
pitcher for his entire career, and it's really unfair to like judge him on just what he did after getting injured and trying to come back. I think he's better than what he's been. Here.
Let me put it this way: if his latest performance, his performance with the Giants, actually hurts his market value,
We're going to
that's
see him on his
great.
last performance, by the way, on Wednesday.
That's true. That's great for the Giants because that will reduce his market value. But if the league, because they're starved for pitching, it perceives his value as just as high as it was 6 months ago, I think that's going to hurt the Giants. But you know,
if the Giants have to sign him for a huge amount of money, I think you skip him.
yeah, you
exactly.
take a pass.
And you go
Exactly.
for some price action, right?
Yes, go for price.
Yeah, like that's how you do that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about outfielders.
Yeah.
Right now. So, like, let's just keep Pence and let's just dump all the old guys and let's just bring up the young guys. And Blanco is an amazing backup who can also start.
I would love Blanco as a backup. Yeah, I would.
But who can also start? And if we have Pagan out of there, who's like doesn't have the I must be the center fielder vibe to him, we got something, right? Like,
so do you want someone like Cespedes?
no,
Oh,
I
come
think
on.
he's kind of cancer. Okay, I love his bat, but
I agree with you.
I think he's kind of cancer. I would much rather just have a really good fielding center fielder
Yeah.
who's fast, and then Pence, and then let's shove Parker in left.
Yeah, the
field.
Giants just don't get guys like that and win.
No.
They don't.
But we could.
They never have. You know, they go for guys like, you know,
All right.
superstars and
Talk
it
amongst
doesn't
yourselves.
work
I'll be right back.
out. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I see. I like the idea of like somebody like. I mean, obviously in spring training they're going to all get a look. But how? You know, here's the question: we're sitting here debating this, but what do you do with Pagan? How do you force Pagan out of that center field role, and then put him on the bench instead of like sliding him to left?
Yeah,
Because
he's got
at the
one
moment
more
I'd
year,
rather.
right.
Yeah, I'd rather have Parker in left than Pagan at this point.
Yeah. No, it's hard to say. Oh my goodness.
It's kind of hard to look at. So what's the count where you're at? Because I'm lagged behind.
1-1 with 2 outs.
Oh wow, I'm only a pitch behind. That's pretty good.
Yeah, runners on first and second with 2 outs. So
Yeah. Okay, good. I've only been a pitch behind. That's why whenever you cut in with the update, I know it. I hope they don't. Like, do you care if the Dodgers clinch and San Francisco? Does it really make a difference in the grand scheme of things to you?
No, because look, this, especially if the Dodgers don't win the World Series this year, then you just kind of go, oh, you clinched in San Francisco. Did you win the World Series again? Oh, wait, no, you haven't since 1988. Sorry.
It's like, how cute.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if they win the World Series, it's a little bit of a, you know, little bit of a stepping stone, I guess, for the Dodgers. It still doesn't come close to 3-5. I mean, you just can't.
Whoa.
Whoa.
The Dodgers winning the World Series would be like a little stepping stone for them?
No.
No, we'd never hear the fucking end of it, is what it would be.
No. That's not
No,
what
it wouldn't.
That's not what I was saying.
They'd be like 3-5 means nothing. We won it this year. Fuck you. That's exactly how it would go down.
Scoreboard. No. What I was saying.
I would
is
like
that-
to keep my shut your 1988 out.
No, I agree.
Status,
But if
which is pretty
If the
good.
Dodgers clinched in San Francisco this year, which they did in 2006 and also in 1975, that's it. You know, that's the only 2 times they've clinched.
Wow, that's amazing.
They
You guys remember the Grand Slam
by Joe
up in center
Morgan.
field? No. In like
Steve Finley.
Steve.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
God damn.
That was really bad.
I watched that in a bar like next door to my work. I had to go back to work and like pretend like I gave a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrible.
But no one. I mean, yeah, we remember it, but it's not anywhere significant like a World Series victory. What I'm saying is that if they don't win the World
but getting
Series
eliminated
and
on your home
clinch
field
in San Francisco, it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit. Now,
you know what though?
Do win
if
the
they
World
clinch
Series after clinching in San Francisco, then there's a little bit more meaning behind it. So that's all I'm saying.
I will. Oh Jesus!
What?
I will say this. We'll say this, Chad. If they do clinch in San Francisco, I hope they do it tomorrow, and not when we're there.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Being there for it would be so sad, and I just don't want to.
I know.
I hope you guys get to see 69. The Giants might go splash hit list this year. That's kind of freaky. I mean,
That
how
is
can they
weird.
not have hit one out there?
Well,
It would
Brandon
be
Crawford like set on 19, and Buster Posey set on 99 forever. So
Well, Crawford got his 20.
maybe we sit on 68 for a long time, but here comes 69.
Yeah, Crawford got his 20, but I don't know if Posey's going to get his 100.
Are we still on favorite guy, or where are we at?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's go, Eric.
I'll say Jake Peavy because he surpassed all expectations. when
By
he
the
came back.
way, Eric, you talked a lot of shit about a motherfucker named Jake Peavy
I did.
early in the season and said you hope that he found an injury within his bowels, and now you're picking him as your new favorite guy late in the season. So talk me through that process.
I commend Jake Peavy. He's totally turned me around. With every start, the guy's been pitching his 6-7 innings every time, and you know what I mean. You got to give a guy credit when he kind of shoves it right back in your face. And I've eaten a lot of crow with Jake Peavy.
Yeah,
So I'll take him as my
he's
favorite.
that kind of pitcher, right?
He's
Yeah.
a deadhead. I'm a deadhead. So I should have been nice in the first.
Do you like
place.
fish too?
Yes, I do. We're kindred spirits. So.
All right. Have you heard of the show Analyze Fish?
I have.
Okay.
I've downloaded it, but I never ended up listening to
Well,
it.
you should listen to that. Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah, you really. So I'm a fan of Analyze Fish, not because I like fish, but because I really like Scott Ackerman and Harris Whittles. And Rip Harris Whittles, I actually sometimes watch. He died of a drug overdose, but he was a writer on Parks and Rec, and a really good comedian and stand-up, and he was one of the funniest guys ever. And he was a huge fish fan, and that was what that whole show was about, is him trying to convince a non-fish fan to be a fan of fish. And it's like one of the greatest podcasts you've ever heard.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah,
All right.
you should really check that out. But yeah, Rip Harris Whittles. Now I'm going to cry again. All right, here we go.
No, don't cry.
All right, my favorite guy, Hunter Pence. Hunter Pence hasn't been around for a while, and that sucks. But he's been doing a lot of, to me right now, he's just like the best Giant, because this guy just loves the Giants, represents the Giants everywhere he goes. I was at TwitchCon this last weekend, and he was there. And he was there with his girlfriend, Lexi. She has a Twitch channel, Let's Get Lexi. They've been doing a lot of gaming content and stuff. And there's a video of him and his girlfriend doing like a blind drawing thing with a dude from the Oakland A's. It's pretty funny. But anyway, Hunter Pence has just been like, he's injured, but he's still like there. And he's still around. He's still a Giant. And I just love like the fact that he just like loves the Giants so much. And I know it's hurting him to not be around, but I don't know, man. I still feel the love from Hunter Pence, and I want to give some love back to that guy because, like, he's my favorite Giant right now. Like, yeah, Buster Posey's like the easy pick, but
Yeah.
Hunter Pence is so awesome, and I hope like when his contract is done, he just re-signs and like finishes his entire career with the
Would that be
Giants.
I bet he does. I think
I
he
really
just-
do. I think he does.
He fell in love with the community
Yeah.
and everything.
No, he
just
found
wants to be a
his-
part of it.
He found his city. Like this city, he
He's like,
still
this
lives
place
in
is
Texas.
way better than Houston.
Yeah, no, he still lives in Texas, but he lives here more, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got a house in Texas, but I spend most of my time here.
Yep.
And he like hangs out at the Twitch front offices and all that. Like, yeah, he's found something here that he didn't find when he was playing in other places, and that's what San Francisco can offer. I want players to realize that, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't really. Like, they're like, oh, the stadium, it's hard to hit there. But, like, guess what? You get to win championships. You get to, like, find all these, like, cool opportunities to... And you're a hero in San Francisco. You're a hero. Like, Pablo Sandoval could have stayed here forever and had a statue one day. And he fucked that up, man. And,
They did.
you know?
But do you think he did? He
did.
Maybe
He did.
10,
He did.
15. Well,
He could have stayed here, man. He could have stayed here.
Yeah.
Obviously, we wouldn't have the Matt Duffy
and
story.
we're glad
but,
he didn't.
I'm happy. Fat Pablo is doing Fat Pablo stuff.
Yep.
But if he stayed here, we would have been like defending Fat Pablo, right?
yeah.
We would have been like,
no,
of course you
no
like
doubt.
Instagram, but just keep hitting like 270, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
cool.
Don't
Yeah.
like it when you're on the shitter.
no, he's like the worst in the league in WAR or something. Like literally, it's kind of hysterical.
It's pretty bad. But I'll say this: like San Francisco fans, like any sports fan, are pretty reactionary, but we have proven ourselves to be some of the most loyal fan bases in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact
No
that we
Philly.
still
Yeah.
cheer for Tim Lincecum after 3 years of 5+ ERAs.
Could you imagine him as a Philly? They'd be like,
Oh, dude, they would have booed him out. Like, yeah, he would have, like, his injuries would have been caused by soda cans to the side of the head.
Yeah.
Like, but
Or
in San Francisco,
batteries,
he's a
yeah.
god. He can walk into any bar for the rest of his life in San Francisco and get a free drink.
Yep.
And that's how San
No
Francisco
doubt.
treats their guys.
doubt.
So,
Barry Zito's another one.
bunch of
Barry
hippies.
Zito. Fuck yeah. $120+ million. We don't care. Give us one World Series.
Yep.
Yep.
2 good starts. You're good.
Yep.
You know,
I
beat
love Barry Zito.
Verlander, win
That's
elimination game.
61 million a start.
done.
That's all
Yeah.
we care about.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah. All right. Let's hate on some people. Chad, I think we're all basically just hating on the same guy, but why don't you lead us off?
Yeah, we don't have to go too far into this, but Jonathan Papelbon, I mean, you know, it's one thing you call a young guy out for not hustling out a fly ball. Granted, if it was dropped, and by the way, the statistics showed it was 99.9% of those fly balls are caught. So if it was dropped, he would have easily been on first, and it still would have been a stretch to even think he could have been on second. Granted, it was a tied game, and Papelbon was
Can
pitching.
you explain the situation you're describing a little bit more? Like what happened here, Chad?
Yeah, no, it was a tie game, and I can't remember how many outs there were. I guess
It's a tie game.
It
Is
no outs or 1 out.
the team in
Yeah.
question in a pennant race or?
Neither.
No,
team.
they're eliminated.
Oh,
neither team.
they're eliminated for competition. You say?
Yes.
Oh, is the
Yes.
guy running to first base like a rookie who has yet to prove himself?
No, he's a 4-year superstar and probably will win the MVP.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
now is that guy also like a really bad teammate who's been talking shit about the rest of his team for the entire season or something?
No, but he did talk shit about Papelbon.
Oh, now this is making sense. Okay.
Yep.
We've got ourselves a Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire situation, I think.
Yep. So we had.
It doesn't make Papelbon.
It didn't even
any less
happen
of
in a book,
dick.
though. It just happened in the dugout.
Yeah, 22-year-old
Oh.
versus a 34-year-old. But you know what happened? And Papelbon got suspended by Major League Baseball for throwing at Manny Machado's head for 3 games. And then he got suspended by the Nationals for 4 games. And you add those together, and guess what? He's not here on the team. He's gone.
I'm curious
rest
to
of
know
the
if this
season.
guy ever plays another game in the major leagues.
Oh, he will.
Oh yeah, he will.
You think so?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Somebody will take him.
Now he is under contract under.
But
the
it's gonna
Nationals
be a
for
rough
next year,
situation.
so it has
Oh,
to be a
yeah.
trade. So that's what's
Well,
going to be
and-
interesting.
Well, they could
He
let him go.
definitely isn't
and
coming back to the Nationals.
Well, they could let him
eat
go.
the
of
contract.
course.
Yeah, eat the contract.
got-
There's
He
no
can
way
go
he comes back
pitch.
to the Nationals because
No.
No. He's not back with the Nationals.
but he's on the tails. He's on the backside of his career.
Yeah, of
All right.
course. Yeah, of course. But he still has a lot of life left. I mean, you know,
All right.
some team's going to take him. Believe me, 30 teams.
I don't think he'll be like honestly. All right, how hilarious would it be if the Giants grab him up?
No,
next
God.
No, they won't
year?
do
That's
it.
our new closer.
Yeah,
They won't do it.
no way.
I don't think so.
No, they
Anyway.
don't grab the dickheads. They
All right,
seem to go
Eric,
for guys that
who-
want to be the teammates.
Who do you want to hate on?
Oh, it's the same. It's Papelbon.
Yeah.
I can't stand the SOB. I've never been able to stand him. I've always thought he's this live wire that's just like too little nutso out there. He never should have thrown at Machado. I don't get it. I just don't get it. You don't choke a teammate in the dugout, and then they go and they act like it's no big deal. F that. You can't do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Papelbon is a jackass.
Well, and C.J. Nikowski and a few
Oh
others.
man, he and I went back and forth last night between like probably 8 to 10 tweets between each other talking about it.
Oh, really?
I couldn't believe
Did
he was defending the
respond to you?
players.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah,
I saw him responding to a ton this afternoon, and he said, what would he say? My best decision of the day, and it was a gif of him closing his laptop.
Yes. Yeah, no, he and I last night went back and forth a lot. I caught the article like right when it came out, and I singled something out of it, and I tweeted it at him being like, you got to be kidding me, CJ. And we went back and forth. A lot of people jumped into my mentions all night long. Like, it's taking me a while to find it now.
Well, it was interesting because he had a lot of quotes from current and former major leaguers, basically, justifying what Papelbon did. But, and he says, it's not like your office. It's not, you don't understand. You don't understand. You've never been in a major league clubhouse. Look at all these quotes. Look at all the people that are behind, Papelbon on this. And it's like, no, look, I get, and I totally get someone dogging a 22-year-old guy, even if he's a superstar and he's an NL, MVP, jogging out a fly ball in a tie game. I get that, and I even get calling him out. But once Harper enticed him, and it wasn't, good for Harper to do that, but it's not, his fault that he went for him. You don't choke a bitch. You don't do that. I mean, I'm sorry. That's just bad. It's bad form. And he's like, it's not like your office. And it's like, well, yeah, no, it's not like your office, but that's also not real life. You don't choke people in real life. And I don't care about your office. That's real life. You don't choke people.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't see it from a real life. He only sees it from a baseball. He said to me last night, run hard, don't pop off about a teammate in the media, and this never happened. Simple. So he was trying to put the blame squarely on Harper for Harper making a comment the other day after Papelbon threw at Machado.
Yeah. No, it's
like it makes it okay for Papelbon to be the crusty veteran that says, no, you must do it my way.
No, it's messed up, and I get people pissed off at Harper. I do. But you don't choke a guy. No. You just don't. Period. No matter what walk of life.
People get fired. People get, arrested for that kind of stuff that we saw.
Yeah, people. I mean, if someone choked someone on the street and it was recorded, that person gets charged with assault. Okay, there's no unwritten rule in baseball that justifies choking a guy. I'm sorry.
Well, technically, I'm pretty sure that. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna go. All right, because I'm gonna kind of go off on this guy a little more than I think you guys already have. But no, yeah, you don't. Because you're 34 years old and the other guy's 22, suddenly get the advantage of choking is now allowed. That just doesn't happen. That's not in the fucking law book. I'm 35, so I should be able to choke out 23-year-olds, right?
Right.
So I'm just walking around.
They haven't earned the right in life.
I'm walking around waiting for people to just like not hustle, and I'm just gonna throw them up against walls and choke them the fuck out. Because what the fuck, man? Walk across the goddamn road because I'm trying to fucking go across. It's a 4-way stop, and you're just fucking moseying along like you ain't got nothing to do, and I ain't gotta get to work by 9 o'clock. So guess what? Fuck you. Come here, throw you against the wall, grab your neck. No, that's not allowed. That is not allowed.
But Willie,
it's
not like an office situation. It's
you
totally
need to
different.
sit the fuck down and understand that you're a human being in human being society. And if we want to talk about like what's allowed in certain professional environments, let's talk about like, oh, well, in this environment, I'm allowed to whip you because guess what? You're a fucking slave. Like, have we gotten past this or not? Like, what the fuck? No, you don't get to do this shit anymore. Like, we don't get to fucking cut off fucking people's heads in Saudi Arabia, even though they fucking do it. We don't get to choke you out in America because we've decided that we're a society above that. Fuck you. You don't get to fucking do that. And you don't get to fucking decide that, like, because someone talks shit about you one time, that now you get to fucking do whatever the shit you want. No. fuck you. I think you need to just be fucking out. Like,
No.
that's it.
Man, all
right, there you go.
I hate
Rant
Bryce
over.
Harper.
Rant over.
I think he's a piece of shit. I think he's
Yeah,
arrogant.
but Bryce Harper's not
going
gonna fucking attack people without provocation.
But yeah,
Someone yelling back, like Bryce Harper was essentially defending himself. He was saying,
he was.
"Hey, listen,
his fault.
yeah, got it." Like he's walking back, Papelbon's yelling.
He didn't make the first move.
Yeah, he's walking back. Papelbon's yelling. He gets in the dugout and he starts yelling back, like, "Yo, fuck you! What the fuck, man? What do you want me to fucking do?" Right? Maybe he's a fucking entitled piece of shit. I don't know. But whether he's an entitled piece of shit or not,
but who cares?
You don't just get to attack him. That's it. Like you don't get to do that. And if you attack somebody at your place of work, you get fired. That's how that works. That is how that works,
and
man.
you might even have a...
No, wait, you don't get sent out to give up a home run?
Oh,
no.
He did.
I mean, can you believe that he sent him back out there after the fight? He's like, oh, I didn't realize the extent of what went on the
well,
other end
there's
of the
a
dugout.
there's a lot of other
Way
stuff
to go,
outside
man.
of this that obviously it's like, okay. But
he's fired now.
he's essentially not coming back to his workplace at this point.
No.
But
No.
you're right, he is going to get a job again. And that's fine too, because if your crime is I attacked a coworker and I choked him, I also don't think that should be on your permanent record and you should never get hired again for a single job in your life. So, get hired again at another company, which is another team, and if you can prove yourself and not be a dick, good to go. Good to go.
Latrell Sprewell continued to get work even after choking his
No,
coach.
he was like a commentator like later on. Like that's he choked his fucking coach, man. Like
right.
Shit happens, but you definitely need to take the fall now. Like you got to go now. And that's what Papelbon's taking. He's got the suspension he's done for the year, but we had Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent like pushing each other in the dugout. We've seen this kind of stuff before. I understand that professional players don't necessarily work on the same scale as an office where you're selling products or whatever it is, but it still doesn't mean that like assault is fine. Like it doesn't. And I'll say this too. Watching the video, like Papelbon wasn't like, let me like push you and show you what's up. Like he looked like he was legit trying to like, I'm coming in to hurt you right now. And if it hadn't been for the immediate reaction of the teammates, like I could have seen it getting real ugly real fast. Like that got ugly really, really fast. All right, moving on. Why will we win it all? Oh God, can't even do this.
Oh man.
All right, I'll start. It ain't happening. We ain't gonna win it all. Go, chat.
I was hoping for one chip off the block tonight by now. I thought the Giants, if they're going to win it, they're going to win it not in extra innings. They were positioned to do so until they blew it in the ninth. And as of right now, they're still tied. So, unfortunately, you can't even give me that extra 10% chance. It's just, it ain't happening, man. Okay? It ain't happening. But we'll see what happens.
Eric.
By the same token.
They're going to win it all because of the blood moon eclipse.
Oh, shit. Now we're getting, okay. So it's going to be some weird mythic,
some crazy mojo. Nah, they're not going to win it all, and I'm happy to have a year off. We can watch all these other new teams fight it out to see who's going to lose the title to the Giants.
I got to say, my ulcer just really flared up during every single playoff series.
Eric just made a really good point,
and
right?
I'm just saying that, right
my
now,
liver needs a year to recover every time.
I got no problem.
I don't need the stress, and it's okay that they're not in the playoff, this year. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
I don't have to rush home to watch
the only stress to my liver and my ulcer is going to be if the Dodgers make the World Series and they've won 3 games and they're on the precipice of winning it.
If it's Dodgers Royals, I would be really upset.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that'd be ugly.
Yeah.
By the way, if it is Dodgers Royals, I'm really looking forward to Game 3 when the Royals all come out and stab the Dodgers to death in the 6th inning over, a 99-mile-an-hour pitch that hit whoever the fuck the Dodgers have. I don't even care anymore. Yeah, it's you know what? It's true. We own 3 sets of DVDs.
Yes, we do.
And we get to watch them anytime we want.
Yep.
There's a lot of YouTube videos I get to watch. I don't know if you watched
I know what you're growling out there, Eric.
Sorry.
Another base hit.
I don't know if you watched. Oh, shit. Did we lose?
No, not yet.
No, it's just first and second, one out.
All right. Anytime you're feeling sad, go watch a video on YouTube. It's the 27 outs of Tim Lincecum in 2010.
Yep.
That will make you cry on demand as a grown man.
I just do that with all 3 World Series. I just Google them and I just watch them and I go, oh shit, I can't believe I actually watched that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you sit there and you get lost after a while. You don't realize you've been watching.
Oh yeah, it's like 2 hours later. You're
are
like,
we
what
so
happened?
selfish that we think we need that every year?
No.
Or can we spread this around to some other cities? Right?
Let the Cubs get a chance. Let the Pirates get a chance. Toronto's going to be a good story this year.
Yeah.
You know, there's
I'd
all
love to
sorts of
see
fun
the
stuff.
Mets win another one. That'd be cool.
No LA and probably no St. Louis.
Right.
Just
no
no
St.
LA
Louis
ever
either.
again. Yeah.
Right. No LA, no St. Louis. I don't give a shit. The Yankees could
And
win.
the
I'd be
Yankees
fine,
could give a shit. I don't.
Yeah. The Yankees are so far ahead. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. I think you guys are with me. All right, that's going to do it
All right, cool.
for episode number 97 of the Torture Cast. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. And this has been fun. I haven't done an episode with you guys in a while. Things have been really busy. I will be moving to Austin by January 1st. Maybe
shit.
before that.
That early,
Wow.
huh?
Yeah, January 1st is kind of the cutoff date, but it may happen before that. But
Wow.
anyway, this will be my last season in San Francisco, at least for the time being. But I will be back and forth, and I still would like to come to some games and sit in the press box if I can. That's still an option for us. But Torture Cast isn't going anywhere. I'm not leaving the Torture Cast or anything like that. People have asked me "Oh, are you still going to do the Torture Cast? You don't live in San Francisco?" And I was like, "What the fuck?"
You're gonna have
Just
more
because I don't
time
live
now.
in San Francisco, I have to not be a fan of the team that means more to me than anything else. No, fuck you. I will still be a huge Giants fan, and I will watch every Giants game, and that's how it's going to be. So don't worry about that. But it is going to happen, and that's actually going to be a good thing for the Torture Cast because I'll have more time available to me to concentrate on all the podcasts and stuff,
That's right.
which is this is part of. Anyway, we'll see you for episode 98. We don't know what that episode is going to be like. Could be awesome. Could be kind of a funeral. We'll see.
Could be the best
But
episode ever.
episode 98 is coming. So I want to give a shout out to the guys who are with me. We got, of course, Chad King, who's Chad K21 on Twitter, and Eric Nathanson, who is at 2 Out Hits. Obviously, Ben is not here. He's at Fried Duck. I am at Willie Dills on Twitter. Check us out. We are at torturecast.com. Also, you can find us on YouTube and Facebook and all the places. So please check those out. And we'll see you for episode 98 very soon. Thanks for hanging out. A-boom.
A big thank you to everybody for listening to the Torture Cast, the podcast by and for fans of the San Francisco Giants. Follow us on Twitter at TortureCast. You can also like us on Facebook or check out our blog at torturecast.com. I also want to say thank you to Ashcon and Bailey for letting us use their song Feeling Like a Giant for our intro. For Ben Lee and Chad King, my name is Willie Dills saying, we'll see you next time.